A few months ago, I did a video around the history of the Hunger Games, specifically when they started and who started them as well. But there have been more than one game maker. So today I wanted to talk about the key game makers that created the Hunger Games. So the game makers would control everything from the arena's environment to the traps and the obstacles that the tributes face. Now, from the books and the films, we know that each game maker would bring something slightly different. They would have different ideas. They would make things a little bit darker, maybe a little bit harder, depending on how evil they really were. So the first one that we're going to talk about is Seneca Crane. Now, we know him from the first movie, and we obviously know how he died. So he was the head game maker for the 74th Hunger Games. And this is the one in which Katniss and Peter kind of beat the system with those berries, and it's the whole thing. So Crane was responsible for many of the game's features, such as manipulation of the arena, the release of the mutations, and as I mentioned, he was executed, and it's found out in the movie Catching Fire that he was executed by the Capitol because he allowed Katniss and Peter to win and have their double victory. And the Capitol saw that as a threat to the control. Now, he probably seemed as though he was going off-piste, he was going on his own little tangent, and it couldn't be seen that they didn't have him under control. So Seneca Crane is out, and in comes Plutarch Heavensbee. So he comes in for the 75th Hunger Games, which we know to be the Quarter Quell. Now, he's much more complex than Crane because he actually works as a double agent, both with Katniss and with the Capitol. He creates the arena for the 75th Hunger Games, including deadly traps and all sorts of dangers, but he also subtly actually helps Katniss and the other tributes. Plutarch then becomes a key ally to Katniss and eventually helps bring Snow to his knees. And the last person I just want to touch on is Claudius Templesmith. Now, he's a reoccurring character in the series, and he's the Capitol announcer who serves as the voice of the Hunger Games. He gave commentary and announced important events during the game. Now, he's not directly in charge of creating the arena or manipulating the tributes. He does keep it entertaining for the Capitol citizens. He's the one who gives that commentary. He's the one that he sees something on screen, you know, and he tells people and makes it entertaining for them. Now, all of these characters were crucial in shaping the Hunger Games in one way or another, and for creating the cruel, complex, difficult challenges that the tributes had to face. The manipulation of the games and the Capitol control over the districts really reinforces the oppressive and deadly nature of this event. Now, that's all I have for this video, guys. It is a shorter one. As I mentioned a few videos ago, I am going to try and do some shorter ones as well. You can just pop on in the background, as well as some slightly longer videos as well. I do have a video, as I mentioned, around the brutal history of the Hunger Games, which I'll tag, so do let me know what you think. Let me know what you think the worst part was, or the worst game maker was, and what you think was the worst thing they did. Like the video if you did, guys, helps me out a lot. Subscribe so you don't miss out on anything else, and until next time, you take care.